Hey everyone, it's Silva here, and today I'm going to be doing my Q&A video. So a couple weeks ago on a video I asked about what questions you may have. I had some questions from family and friends, and so I thought I would put it out there to you guys as well and see what you had for questions. So I really appreciate all the questions that were submitted, and stay tuned and I will go over them. Hope you're all having a fantastic day. I know I am. And let's get right into the questions. So the first question I have a couple similar ones. What mileage do I plan to do the first 2 weeks or the first week? So I'm going to try and stick to 8 to 10s the first week and then increase from there. I have hiked many times well over that in Maine and New Hampshire, but I know that I tend to push myself further. Oh, you can go a little further, you can go a little further, or let's just do it the hard way. But I know that I'm not going home to rest after a couple of days, so I'm going to try and stick to 8 to 10s and then build up from there just to be smart and not do anything that would injure myself right off the bat. The next question I have was, how long do I plan to take to get to Katahdin? So my goal is 5 months. I'd like to get there in 5 months. That's the goal I've had all along. If it takes 5 months and 2 days, I don't have a specific date, that's fine. And I don't think that I could do it in 4 months. I think that it would be too much pressure and I wouldn't enjoy myself to be like, I gotta go. And that's great if you can do that. That's absolutely fine. I have no issues with anybody that does that, but my goal is 5 months. And then I had how many, I have my computer here to help me. How many zeros or how often will I take a zero? And I really haven't thought that out because I'm just going to go with how my body's feeling and what my body's telling me. So, maybe after a week I'll take a Nero, or we'll see. I don't have zeros planned yet. So I'm hoping not to take a lot. I Nero into town, spend the night, rest, and do that sort of thing. And I'm sure I'll take a few zeros. I'm going to wait and see, kind of feel it out. Did you look into using Uber from the airport because they had heard it was cheaper? And I didn't really look into Uber from the airport. I did some research, and what I ended up doing was I'm taking the MARTA from the airport to North Station, and then I'm getting a ride from North Station shuttle with Tribute, who hiked the trail last year, northbound, and so I was excited to catch a ride with him, so I figured it would be a lot of fun to ride from North Station over to Amicalola Falls with someone who had just hiked the Appalachian Trail successfully last year, and then I could kind of pick his brain, and it would just be an exciting ride. So that's what I did. And then the next question is my starting pack weight. Well, it was just under 15 pounds, and then I added a few things. I added an umbrella in my guidebook, and now I'm just at about 16 pounds. So I'm going to go through it all again and see if there's something else I can get rid of. I was really hoping to keep my base weight, and that is with all my winter gear. But I was hoping to keep it at no more than 15 with all my winter gear. That way, once I add food and water, it's not too high. But we'll see what I can get rid of. So the next question was number of days of food I'll take from Springer. So if I do 8 miles a day, it looks like it's going to take almost 5 days to get from the approach trail to Neil Gap, which seems like a really long time. So I originally was hoping to do it in 4. Anywho, so I'm going to take 5 days of food just to be on the safe side, and then I'll get a better idea probably after the first couple weeks of how much food I need to carry and when I'm going to get to the next location. But I'd rather start out with a little too much and not be hungry. So I'm going to take 5 days of food with me. And then the next question was, am I still apprehensive about the Great Smoky Mountains, where I am accustomed to cold weather? In one of my concerns videos, it was, which I'll link in the corner, I was kind of apprehensive about the Great Smoky Mountains. But now, not so much now. I think now I'm just more excited because I don't know, they seem very exciting to me. So I am used to the cold. I'm also not starting for another few weeks. So yeah, it'll still be cold in the Smokies, I'm sure, when I get there. But I'm used to cold weather. I've been hiking in Maine when it's, in the single digits and zeros and even below sometimes. So I'm not worried about the cold. I'm just excited now, I think, to go through the Smokies. And then the next question was, have I done any shakedown hikes, or do I plan to do any? I have done several shakedown hikes, and I will link some of them right up here in the corner. So, and they've gone great. My first one, I learned a lot. By the last one, I really felt like I had my gear dialed in. It got down, and my last one was in November. It got down into the 20s, and I felt like everything was good. I haven't done any since then because I do live in Maine, and we've got a lot of snow, so I haven't done any. I would have to be digging through the snow to pitch my tent, and I'm not doing that. So let's see what's next. My next question is about my sleep system. So I did go over that in my Big 3 video, which I'll link in the corner, but just briefly, I will touch base on what I'm using. So I have the Big Agnes Blue Lake 25-degree synthetic sleeping bag. I have Sea to Summit Thermal Reactor Short for extra warmth. I have the Thermarest Neo Air X Lite sleeping pad, and I did buy the women's one because it was a little bit shorter, and I'm only 5'4", so I didn't need the extra. But since my Big 3, I did add this pillow. So this is the Nemophilo pillow. So I did add this to my sleep system. So that's what I'm using to sleep. So one of my next questions was because I'm vegan, if I would be showing my resupply and eating options when I'm in town. So I do plan to do that for anybody that's vegan, vegetarian, or anybody that just wants to have something different to eat. So I will be including that along the way. I don't know how often yet, but I do plan to do it several times when I'm doing a resupply or when I'm trying to order in a restaurant, when there's great eating options and when there's not so great eating options. I will include all that in some of my upcoming videos. And then I had a question about my water filtration system, which I did a video on that as well. I went more in depth on it, but I will touch base real quick on what I'm using, and I'll also link in the corner the video that I did on my cook system and water filtration system. So I have the Sawyer Squeeze. I have the full-size one. I have the CNOC bag. I don't know if that's how you say it. Everybody says it different. That's how I'm saying it. Which I really love because it's so, I tried filtering water with the bag that came with the Sawyer. So difficult to fill up that little hole, but this, you can just open it right up and you can scoop the whole water out. It's so much easier, so much nicer. And then just a couple smart water bottles to carry my water. That's it. That's what I'm using. I know, I don't think I'm going to need any of the Aquamira tabs. I'm not starting till later in March, and so nothing should freeze. If it gets too cold, I'll just carry this inside my coat and sleep with it in my sleeping bag. But I should be all set. And that's what I'm doing for that. All right, so those were the questions that were submitted online for me. Some of my family and friends had a few other questions that I'll touch base on real quick. They just, because they're not hikers, which is completely reasonable, I didn't used to know how this worked. How will I get food along the trail? And that is, you get to towns every 3 to 4, 5 days at the most. And sometimes you can go into town even sooner than that if you need to. So you just go into town, go to the store, resupply. Sometimes Matt will send me packages and, all along the way. So, you don't have to carry 5 months of food. That'd be horrible. Actually impossible. They had questions about water and how I get water along the way, and so, which I already talked about the water filtration system, so you just filter water as you go. There's usually not a lack of water along the Appalachian Trail with all the rain that happens, so you just, filter what you need and then stop when you need some more and filter some more. And if there's any spots, I do have gut hooks, so if there's any spots where the water's low, you just kind of get some extra and bring it along. And then let's see, other questions about bears and things like that. So I just mostly explained to people that it's not usually an issue on the Appalachian Trail. So those were most of the questions that I had. I will be doing another Q&A, I'm sure, along the way, maybe a couple times, because people probably have more questions when I'm out there again. And so I do plan to do that. So I just want to say thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I'm really hoping to hit 500 subscribers soon. I'm so close. Last time I looked, I think it was 494 maybe, so pretty close. I'm hoping to hit 500 soon, so if you haven't already subscribed, I would really appreciate it if you did. And thank you so much to everybody that has subscribed. I am counting down those days, and I will be filming my whole journey along the way. So again, thanks so much. Hope you guys are all having a fantastic day, and see you out there.